Welcome, race fans, once again to Virtual Racing Network. We are here with the NESS Short Track Series presented by T&D Rustic Decor. And it looks like it's going to be a good race here at Phoenix International Raceway, or PIR for short. You'll hear us talk about it a lot. We want to go over all the sponsors, of course, that make this race and broadcast possible, starting, of course, with TJ Woodworking. Their limitation is your imagination. If you have any woodworking needs, you can give them a call at 515-979-0415 and get a hold of Tony Jones today to get started on that. And of course, the presenting sponsor here for this series, that is T&D Rustic Decor out of Oklahoma. If you are in the market for rustic decor items, there is no better place than T&D Rustic Decor. Make sure you go look them up on Facebook. Check out all the new stuff. They've been posting quite a bit on Facebook. So they've been out looking and getting new stuff, so make sure you head on over there and check them out. On the broadcast side of things, we want to give a big shout out to, of course, Walls Beard Co. for coming on board just not too long ago. They've been here for a little bit now. If you have a beard, you need to take care of it, so go get you some Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm, all natural and organic products. SimSpeedShop.com, your one-stop shop for custom-made button boxes and e-brakes for you rallycross racers. So if you're in the market to get one of those, and if you're an iRacer, you probably should be, you need to head on over to SimSpeedShop.com, your one-stop shop for button boxes and e-brakes. Northwest Racing Series, they start back tomorrow night on Monday, so make sure you are ready for that. We are going to have some Xfinity racing, and then on Wednesday night, we are going to have some truck racing. They come back to iRacing once again. They are going to be here, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll be covering all of that racing action. Ohio IndyCar League. If you are looking to get some IndyCar racing into your life, what better place to do so than Ohio IndyCar League? Head on over to Facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League to get all the latest information. iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, your sim race broadcast graphic source. If you're looking to get into broadcasting or just need some overlays, make sure you check out ibog.co and get a hold of Jason Allison. And, of course, Randy's Wraps. We don't have a pre-race interview. We will have a post-show coming up. So your post-race show is presented by Randy's Wraps. So make sure you head on over to Facebook and message Randy Post. You'll be seeing him race here tonight, or this afternoon, technically. So if you're looking for a nice paint job, go to Facebook and type in Randy's Wraps. It'll take you right to the page and get you a really nice paint job for a really good price. That being said, it is time to introduce our second chair here for tonight's, or again, this afternoon's race, and that is Chuck Kemper, the other owner, here with me. So we have both owners here in the booth for this league. So Chuck, welcome to the booth.
Hey Cody, happy Sunday, man. Ready for this one?
It is. I am definitely ready for this. We only have about 35 seconds here before we go right into qualifying. And we were just looking here, and times are a little slower, so this track may not have as much rubber, may not have something. Something has changed, but obviously the settings are the same from practice. So we'll see what kind of times these guys and gals can put in here. Maybe Rachel Hunt can get her second win. She is fourth fastest.
Oh, there's no doubt. I sat in on practice with these guys on Friday, and Doug and Aaron wasn't at practice. You had Rachel Hunt, Ed Sauls, and Scott Page all throwing up 25.9. So qualifying and the race is going to be pretty exciting.
It definitely is. And speaking of qualifying, it is now that time. There it is. Qualifying is up on the clock. We got 5 minutes to go out there and run the best time they can. And it looks like Rachel Hunt is going to be the first one out. So we'll drop down there to Rachel. She may have a new paint job in here, similar, but I think it's a little bit different. It may not be. I may just have forgotten what it looked like, but I think there's a little something different on it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing her go out yet. I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, she is up there. We got a few people out. If you may have to double click on your timing screen, it doesn't always want to update. But she's out there. Ed Saul's out there. Nobody's put in a time, of course, just yet, but they are working on it. We'll let you know as soon as they do. And we'll see where these guys and gals stack up here tonight for qualifying. Again, I've got to start saying this afternoon. It is not night. It is 1 o'clock Central Time, so it is still nice and sunny out.
It's definitely warm. But you guys around 100 degrees yesterday in thunderstorm. So track temp out here, though, we're going to keep it a nice cool 65 degrees. Or air temp. I think track temp didn't wander off too far from that. Should be maybe around 70, 75 degrees. Looking at fuel, going to be anywhere 75 to 80 laps. Not going to get any more out of it than that. And you're going to need tires long before that anyway. So it's going to be an interesting race.
It is indeed. And these truck series, we just went over to Doug Pickering in the 17. When he came out of, I believe, turn 4, that truck really lifted up in the air. You being on the more of the racing side, I don't know, is that a glitch with these, or is that just how they drive?
I'm going to guess Doug probably has a lot of rear bite, and that's what's lifting that truck. That's you look at the qualifying time he threw up there at 25.974. You're not going to see a whole lot faster. Aaron may dip down just a hair under it, but that's about all you're going to get out of this truck. And I'm guessing they've got a lot of drive off of that right rear tire.
That'll be very interesting to see if he does that time during the race. I imagine he probably will come close to it. Ed Sauls was in second, but now Brian Jones is going to take that 21 machine to second with a 26.040. So far, only Doug Pickering has been able to run the 25.9. So, you talked about how it was faster, and there Brian Jones just did it as well. So he must have some good bite off. But interesting, we have Philip Daniels Jr. here. He has not been here in a while, but he is back. Good to have him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Real life gets in the way. Philip's job, he kind of gets called out whenever. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. So, we're just glad to have him back.
Yeah, definitely are. Obviously, you're not going to be out here on the track, and surprisingly, Aaron Maspero has not come out yet. I'm not sure if he is here with us or not. Let's check. I believe he was here, so he is with us in TeamSpeak, but has not come out on the track, and he's got a minute 50 to do so. So we're actually going to step away, get to the national anthem, and we will be right back here with your starting grid.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and they are on the grid, so we're going to go ahead and go through your Wolves and Beard Co. starting grid here for tonight's race. On pole with a 25.975, the only 25-second lap. That is going to be the 17 of Doug Pickering. On his outside, it's going to be the 21 of Brian Jones. Row 2 is going to be the 81 of Ed Sauls and the 16 of Rachel Hunt. Row 3 is going to be the 00 of Scott Page and the 48 of Jack Fellers. Row 4 is going to be the 54 of Randy Post and the 45 of Jason Deere. And I just want to point out, that is not the first time those two have been on the same row. Same numbers, just reversed. They seem to be right there next to each other quite a bit. Row 5 is going to be the 8 of Philip Daniels Jr. And very surprising is the number 41 of Aaron Maspero, who is starting the race. He did start, he is on the grid, but starting all the way in 10th. I don't know if he's doing this to try to just have fun working his way through the field, or something happened that caused him to miss qualifying.
I don't know. I see Philip Daniels is off the grid too. It looked like there was a couple people having technical issues. So I'm not sure if Aaron was one of those during qualifying or not. That's not like Aaron. He's going to get the pole if he can win the pole.
Yeah, we have seen in the past where people have connection issues. We've seen it not long ago. I believe it was our Northwest one had connection issues. So that may have been an issue. We'll see if he's able to come out onto the track here in a second, though. But 9 out of the 10 did, so that'll be interesting. Maybe something just came up.
Well, Philip Daniels just reconnected. I don't see him in the pits. Trying to see if he's made it to the track yet, catch up with the field. Oh, I don't see him.
He is not. And while we go green here to answer Mike Neal's question in chat, why there's some of the numbers don't have names, that is actually a glitch with iRacing that we unfortunately can't avoid. If we get a caution, we'll try to restart and see if we can't get the overlays reset here. That should fix it, but it's just a unfortunate glitch from iRacing. But what a start here for everybody. Ed Sauls and Brian Jones are both all over the 17. Ooh, as the 17 gets into Brian, spins him around just a little bit. Caution out on lap number 1.
Yeah, very unlike Doug and Brian for something like that to happen. I'm guessing probably just a racing deal. One come up a little bit, one went down a little bit.
As we'll go back and watch the replay here. We'll actually go to TV 1. It was very, very subtle. I mean, it was not much. Normally, you wouldn't even think that would spin anyone around. It was such a slight tap. Again, just a little bit of sliding up and sliding down.
Brian was making that outside work. Took Doug into turn 1, got even with him, and then through turn 2 there, he caught up and passed him a little bit. And like on the middle to exit of 4, just tapped him ever so slightly.
Yeah, he just barely any contact. And that should put the 17 at the back, as he was the cause of that. But really, the unfortunate one is going to be Brian Jones, who has all that damage. I want to note here, too, Philip Daniels is out on the track now. So whatever happened, he did finally start. So interesting to see maybe if he did have a connection issue or if there was something he had to attend to. But he has joined the field.
Yeah, it looks like Jason Deere got caught up in that as well. Got a little right side damage. Hopefully not having to use that fast repair too soon.
And we're trying to get a good shot of pit road here. There is just not a good angle for pit road.
No, not on this pit road.
No, it is a very different track. It's not the tricky triangle, but it's not the best for camera angles. So that is unfortunate that it is. However, I do want to point out here, we'll take a look as we'll find Aaron Maspero in the 41. He is currently up to 6th place, so he has worked his way up a little bit from 9th to 6th. But right now, your top 3 are Doug Pickering, Ed Sauls, and Rachel Hunt sitting in 3rd place right now.
Well, I'm waiting to see if there's going to be a penalty on the 17 with Doug Pickering. I should go EOL probably this lap, I would think, if there is going to be.
And he is on the bottom, but nobody's getting by him here. Unless maybe the 21 took responsibility, said he came down or something, but I don't think that would be the case.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised at that either. I mean, that's the group of racers that we have. You know, if Brian knows he came down a little bit, and Doug just kind of drifted up a little bit, or held his line, they're just going to call it a racing deal and not get too excited about it. That's what these drivers do. That's why this league is so fun to be a part of. You don't have all the drama.
Yeah, definitely don't have the drama here. And if both of them agreed that one went up and one went down, they would call it a racing deal and keep going forward. Brian Jones is still on the lead lap, so he did not use his fast repair. He may need that later on in the race. As looks like he is pulling it to a stop on the track, actually. Now there he goes. He's going to get it going again, so I'm not sure if he had to maybe adjust the pedal or something, but he did stop it, but he is back under power once again.
It looks like Doug Pickering, taking the pole, is going to take the outside lane. Probably after what he saw Brian do to him on that first start, kind of woke him up a little bit. So yeah, probably easier to run that top lane.
Yeah, I would expect to see him run there. That's going to put Ed Sauls on the inside here. So we'll see, and this is an open setup. So one thing he has to remember is, just because Brian Jones was able to run up there doesn't necessarily mean that your setup's going to be able to run up there. But theoretically, probably is going to be able to, but doesn't necessarily mean it will for sure. So we'll see if maybe Ed Sauls can get by him here on the restart as the green flag is coming out. There it is. We are racing once again, and Ed Sauls gets a good jump actually ahead of him at the line.
Yeah, going into one, that inside line is going to get pinched. There's no doubt about it, because to run a fast lap, you're going to have to move up a little bit. But obviously Doug realized what he did the first time, corrected it this time. Oh, I'd still give him a run coming out of 4, though.
And we almost had the same scenario once again, and every one of their trucks is going, and looks like Aaron Maspero's going around now. Caution is out once again as Aaron Maspero in the 40 goes around. Let's go back and take a look. We got back end damage. It may be another case of what just happened. What happened here to the 41 of Aaron Maspero is we're going to try to get a different angle on it. All seemed well. He's racing with Jack Fellers and Scott Page. Rachel Hunt in this mix as well. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Oh, just broke loose.
Yeah, just broke loose.
That's unfortunate for him and Jack Fellers, who is going to have some damage because of that. It almost looked like here, so we're going to take another quick look at that from that same angle here. It almost looks like there was an invisible wall that the 48 got him, but he did not. Jack Fellers did absolutely nothing wrong. It was just... I think he got loose, but it almost looked like a turn because of the way the physics are working right here.
I probably punched the pedal and just broke the back end loose. Looked like he might have been, from a driver perspective, it looked like he was thinking about taking that 3 wide by going in between the 0-0 and the 48. So that's quite possibly what could have happened, but definitely the back end just broke loose.
Yeah,
collected up Jack, which was so far having a good day.
And Philip Daniels should get one of his laps back here. He is on pit road, and now notably everybody's on pit road except for Doug Pickering, who opted to stay out.
Not quite sure I understand that one, but we'll see how it plays out. We raced this track 5 weeks ago, and this is about the point where we had, I think it was a 70 lap green flag run. So Doug could be putting himself in a bind if this thing goes green.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how it is. We've actually completed 8 laps. 6 of those have been under caution, so they've actually only had 2 laps under green racing conditions, so he really doesn't have too much wear on him, so it may not be too bad of a call.
Well, I think I said this before the broadcast. Just had a crazy feeling about today and today's race. We've seen things we don't normally see. We see a crash on between the leaders on lap 1. That don't happen. And then to see Aaron McSparrow spin out, that never happens. Where he just loses the back end of it. So it's going to be an exciting race. I just have a feeling we may see a new winner for the season. Good thing for this league.
Yeah, definitely would be. And I don't recall, Ed Sauls does not have a win this season. I don't think so. I can assure you, if I'm correct and he doesn't, he would love to see his first win of the season.
Oh, Ed has several podiums, but no win.
He would love to see it, and I'm sure there's a ton of fans out there for the 16 of Rachel Hunt. So if she could possibly get her second win of the season, I can guarantee you there would be some happy people out there, myself included. I would be absolutely thrilled. Doug, no disrespect to him, I'd love to see him win too. He is a proven winner. He can win some races. But if that 81 or the 16 could win, those two drivers would love to see them win. Even Scott Page up there has a shot right now, so it'd be cool to see him win as well.
Well, and a bunch of drivers were talking about it earlier, where they have come as far as their skills and their setup making over the last season and a half, and to see the improvement week in and week out on these guys and the little techniques that they're learning. And you look at the qualifying time, 25.9. Who does that? Well, there's open set. Other guys mastering open setups that don't run that. These guys are getting really, really good at these setups, and love to see them competing in other leagues against other talent just to see how they would do.
Yeah, definitely would be, as there's the green flag out once again. We are now on lap 12 of 100 here. We have 100 laps and 100 miles, as there's the 81 trying to squeeze it in there once again. But like you said earlier, that bottom line just doesn't quite have enough to get the lead, as obviously Doug is opting to take that outside. If he didn't, he would have probably lost that lead. That outside just has so much dominance, but Ed's not done with him yet.
I believe Ed took him at the line. Ed led the lap.
He did indeed. Ed Sauls led his first lap of the race, I do believe. Oh, it's his third lap, actually. So he is going to take the lead officially, so we now have a new race leader. That is the 81 of Ed Sauls. So he really has a fast truck here, and he has a good shot at winning this thing.
Well, Scott Page behind Doug Pickering is giving Doug all he wants right now. You got to get him while you still got fresh tires underneath you.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that, obviously not wondering, that is going to play a little bit into it with those fresher tires. But Doug is still holding his own on those tires. Again, we're talking of 14 laps on them versus 5 for everyone else. So there is a huge difference, but he's still holding his own right now.
Yeah, the majority of that was caution laps. Ed is just fast. I'm telling you, these guys Friday night worked very hard on these setups. There wasn't a lot of just running hot laps and trying to set good times. They were actually working on the setups, and I think it's showing right now on race day.
Yeah, it definitely is showing there. We'll see how it all plays out. We're having some coding overload. We lowered some
that 41 truck.
Aaron Maspero's coming in. We'll go back and look at Scott Page. There's the caution finally coming out, as he has heavy damage and smoking. They do have one fast repair, so he's definitely going to want to use it. Good news for him, he's still under his own power, so let's go back and take a look. What happened to Scott Page? As we saw him going around, but I didn't see what happened. But we are watching the replay camera here to see if we can get a better idea as to what happened. I'm wondering if he just went around on his own. He did indeed. Oh, and Jack Feller's narrowly missing him. I don't think he got him. He got real lucky. He's already used his fast repair, it looks like. I don't think you could have got any closer to that. As let's go back here and take another look at this from Jack Feller's point of view. We'll go back. Let's go to the cockpit view and go on board with him. This is a scary sight if you're Jack Fellers right now, as we're on his helmet cam. You see right in here somewhere is where he breaks loose, and you're watching Jack Fellers just about hit him. I don't know how much closer he could have possibly got.
Well, sometimes when you get past, like Scott did, you pinch off on that throttle just a little bit harder than you normally would. Got him a little loose, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, there it is right there, and whew, yeah, I would definitely be a little afraid if I was Jack Fellers doing that. So we'll go back to live. Jack Fellers is on pit road, but everybody's on pit road now. Randy Post just now coming on the pit road, so I'm not sure what happened with Randy Post, but he is just now coming on pit road. He is on the lead lap as everyone else is leaving pit road.
I'm not sure. I saw Randy running in the group, so I don't know.
Well, definitely interesting to figure out. Maybe we can see if we can't pull Randy up here real fast and see what might have happened. Randy Post, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, we're trying to figure out. You're on the lead lap, but you were just now coming down pit road where everyone else was leaving. So, did something happen back there that got you behind the rest of these guys?
Yeah, on that restart, the guy in front of me kind of checked up, and I didn't want to hit anybody, so I let them go. And I got a black flag for passing, and I just went a lap down because I had to stop go, and I had got the lucky dog as well. So.
Well, that is not good, but good thing you did get the lucky dog. So we hope to see you going through this field here. Any quick shout-outs you want to do before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and Chuck for running the league and helping everybody out with the setup.
All right. Well, again, hopefully we'll see you moving up through the field. That being said, we'll get you back down to the race channel, and we'll be talking to you after. Oh.
Yes, sir.
You want to thank me for the setup? Go win this thing, will you?
I'm a lap down right now. I can't do that.
You'll get it. Get it back.
All right. That was the 54 of Randy Post. He's going to try to work his way through. Lights are off on the pace car right now. Take a look at your top 5 while we're under caution. It is currently Doug Pickering. We'll try to get that reset here shortly. Followed by Ed Sauls, Jack Fellers, Rachel Hunt, and Jason Deere in a top 5 position right now. So good job for Jack Fellers and Jason Deere.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. Both of them, Jack Fellers and Jason Deere. Jack, last time he raced with us, was running very good until he had a misfortunate accident towards the end of the race. You'd think he was running top 3, top 4. So Jack's showing that he can drive these things.
Yeah, and keeping in mind, these are open setups. They have to work on these during practice, and just goes to show he's doing a good job on that. And the pace car diving off, getting on the pit road where it should have been all along. Green flag is out. We're on lap 21 of 100 here for this afternoon's race. Should be a really good one, as Jack Feller's having a little bit of a connection issue there.
Yeah, Ed making a run there on the outside, takes the lead. Jack follow him up through there. And now Doug pinched him off.
Yep, Doug did good. He didn't pinch him enough to wreck or cause a wreck, but he did what he needed to do. You don't want to let somebody get too much of a run on you on that outside. If you do, they are going to get by you most likely. And Jack had the run, and he just was able to close it before he could. And it is going to be right now the 81 and then the 17, then the 48. And there's a good little battle going on. Aaron Maspero, after his spin, is in 3rd place right now. But Rachel Hunt is coming, and Jack Feller's back there as well.
Well, it looked like Jack Feller's got a little loose coming out of 1, and Aaron Maspero and Rachel Hunt took advantage of that and went right by him. If I was Ed and Doug, You look at that rearview mirror, seeing that 41 coming. That made me make me race just a little bit harder.
Yeah, definitely would me as well. And so we're going to reset these overlays real quick so you can see everybody's name. As we are still racing, and apparently now we're going to have issues that don't want to load our overlay. So that's...
Yeah, we got a pass for the lead. Looks like Doug's going to try and take Ed on turn 1 in the inside. Ed's holding him off, and Jack's got him coming out of the turn.
Ooh, Jack Feller scrapes the wall. Now that we have our overlays back on, we'll put our top 3 back up there. And we'll go up to these 3 as there goes Doug Pickering on the inside. He's going to take the lead back one more time. We'll see if he can hold on to it. Aaron Maspero going to try to squeeze in there as well.
What a great race we got for the lead here. 3-car race. Ed's jumped back out in front over Doug again. Doug falls in behind him. And you still have Aaron kind of hanging out back there waiting for something to happen so he can go around both of them.
Yeah, he is definitely hanging in there. It's 1, 2, 3. They're literally separated by about a car length each on the track right now for your top 3. Rachel Hunt trailing them just a little bit in 4th place. Can Rachel Hunt get up there? Jack Fellers as well. After having that incident he had, no fault of his own there, just getting some damage, but he uses fast repair. And Ed Sauls, I think, is the one of the 3 to beat here. Those 3 right there are probably the 3 to beat. However, you never can count anyone out in here. As we pointed out last week's race, everybody in the race led at least 1 lap.
That's right. That's how good all these drivers are. We've had our last season champion, Aaron Maspero, at times put on a clinic and just walk away with some races, a season ago. This season, it's been a different story. We've had 3 or 4 different winners, and each week, you see different podium winners. So it's getting a lot more competitive and a lot more fun to watch. That same guy winning every week.
Yeah, it definitely is. And to answer the question in chat what track it is, just saw it. This is Phoenix International Raceway, or PIR for short. We're running 100 laps here right now. Oh, and it is the 08 version, not the new one. The new one is ISM Raceway. They renamed it a little bit, so we're running the old version here. And just wanted to point out, so just notice Philip Daniels is out of the race now. So he came back out, ran a few laps, and then put it back in the pits again.
Yeah, I see he's 12 laps down. I'm still confused at Randy Post and Jason Deere. The laps going on here, did they go back in the pits?
I'm wondering if they did, as actually Randy Post is still in the pits. So something happened there as he is sitting back on pit road. And Aaron Maspero and Doug Pickering did get by Ed Sauls as well. Ed's falling back a little bit here. I'm wondering if it's the what we've seen in the past. Those front 2, Aaron Maspero and Doug Pickering, are really good at conserving those older tires.
Well, Aaron has taken the lead. There's no surprise there. And you're absolutely right. They are some of the best at conserving tires and building setups that hold tires. Ed just may be backing up because he ran his pretty hard, trying to stay in front of Doug. And knowing Ed, he was up on the wheel and grinding it pretty good. So let him cool off and maybe make another run at him.
And going back just a little bit, you have Jack Fellers. Thought he had the pass clear on Rachel Hunt. He did not. He is going to have to keep trying. That outside lane is prevailing quite a bit, no matter where you're at, whether it's first, second, all the way back here throughout the field. The outside is just the line to be in, as you're going to have to try to make something happen on the outside if you want to get a pass done.
Well, you're going to start seeing trucks move up there anyway. Reason being, longer we run here, especially coming out of 3 and 4, or out of 4 rather, these trucks are going to start pushing up towards the wall. So we're going to start seeing them doing the entry into 3 a little higher than they normally would, and then they're going to diamond that down a little bit coming out of 4 to try and keep it off the wall. And the same kind of holds true for turn 1 as well. Gonna see them taking a little higher entry at a little slower speed, so they can get off the corner without hitting that wall.
Yeah, they are. And we'll check in here. Brian Jones, currently in, I believe that's 7th position. It is. After that little tap there, he still has not used that fast repair. I would imagine early in this race he's going to try to save that for later on in the race, but he is currently 9 seconds back from the lead, so he's not really in any jeopardy of going a lap down yet. If he got close to that, I might say use that fast repair, but he's not, so I think he's on the right track right now, just kind of hanging in there. Again, we're early in this race. We're closing in on the halfway point, but we're not there yet, and he may need that fast repair later on.
Yeah, I never criticize anybody's strategy because I don't know what's going on in their situation. Gutsy move, not using the fast repair. If this thing goes green, could be a disaster. If we do have another caution with 15, 20 to go, he uses the fast repair and he's golden. He's running up front again. So, tough call.
Yeah. It is a very tough call, but these guys, that's the thing. You're running 26-second laps. You have to make these calls in seconds. You don't have, an hour or 45 minutes, however long this race is, like us to sit in the booth and analyze what they're doing and still possibly get it wrong anyway. But, you don't have that luxury. You have to make these decisions very quick, on the fly. And he's made the decision that he thinks is best, and it could be, it could not be. You never know. Again, you're not in his truck. You're not out there doing what he's doing. So you just have to kind of wait and see what happens.
Absolutely right. At least, I said over and over again, man, these guys are pretty good. And I've watched other leagues where I could pick out, probably 8 to 10 drivers from those leagues, and to put ours with them, oh my gosh, what a super league that would be. Maybe someday we'll get to that.
Well, it definitely is going to take some time, and it has steadily grown from what it started at when we had, 2 or 3 drivers a race to where it's at now. And even from where it used to be once we had more the drivers, like you were talking about, how it went from a few drivers to a little bit more, but you had the same drivers winning every week, to now you have a few more and different drivers are winning. So it is steadily growing, and we just knocked the bottle down. We do apologize for that. Apparently we won't be drinking, keeping hydrated for this race because it's on the floor now, but definitely an improvement for all these drivers.
Yeah, the dogs will get it.
Yeah.
I nickname my dog Hoover. If I drop something, he cleans it up.
It's always good to have a Hoover laying around. I wish I had one in here right now. But, yeah, it's just crazy how all these drivers improve. Rachel Hunt still in 5th place right now. And Randy Post, update him, he is back out on the track, and him and Jack Fellers have traded. Now Jack Fellers is in pit road.
I don't know. I'm very confused at what's going on there, because I was watching Jack and run with Rachel and Scott and all as a group there, and then all of a sudden Jack was on pit road, so I'm not sure what's going on.
And, go ahead.
Now, the one thing we don't know, and it's something with these trucks that I've seen more and more after this last build, is a very little bit of front end damage will cause these things to overheat. Damage that you don't know, you can't tell by looking or sitting in the driver's seat. You're not seeing the hood all crinkled up. So that quite possibly could be something. I know Jack has had made contact with a few. Maybe he did have some front end damage, had to go in for that fast repair to get that cleaned up.
Yeah, you very well could have. And right now is we're going to take a wider angle. Everybody is spread out, so this thing's going to go probably caution free here for quite some time. And
say that. Don't say that. Don't jinx it.
Well, it probably just did. But to address chat here a minute, I got prayers for Robert Wiggins and of the Indy cars. I'm not sure. I mean, I know who the driver is. I'm not sure what happened in the Indy cars? Do you have any insight into that, Chuck?
No, I was just reading through Mike Neal's post at bad IndyCar wreck. Well, they must be doing the double duty, watching some VRN, watching some IndyCar.
Yeah, I saw the post there, Mike, about the bad IndyCar wreck. I thought you were referring to when one of our cars, when that wreck happened, it was about the same time he went spinning through the air, as we've seen that here. But it was actually an IndyCar wreck, so we'll have to do some looking into that. Hopefully everyone is okay in there. Obviously, those cars, when you wreck them pretty good.
Now look at the masterful driving of Aaron Maspero. Started out back of the pack. Here he is with a 3.6 second lead over the second place truck and a 7.5 second lead over the third place truck. After 45, well, he was already there, so let's just say 40 laps.
Yeah, and spinning on top of that. So going from the back, spinning, going back to the back again, and working his way to the front. So a very outstanding job for him. Doug Pickering is in second right now. Has had a pretty good race here, and we do apologize for any connection issues going on in the stream right now. I'm not sure what that was. Hopefully it was just on my end. But Ed Saul sitting in third place right now, having a really good run for himself. Scott Page in fourth place, and Rachel Hunt will round out your top five. Brian Jones in sixth is the last car on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, Aaron Maspero still throwing down some good laps, a 27.276 on that last lap. Now this is where we at 30 lap tires, just about, I think.
This stint is actually 49.
Well, okay, 49, so that's even more impressive.
Yeah, 49 now, 50 laps for Aaron Maspero. Our top six drivers have 49 to 50 laps on their tires. You get to Jason Deere, 22, Randy Post, 18. Obviously, Jack Fellers is on pit road, and Philip Daniels is out of the race.
Aaron's running just about 2/10 faster than Doug and Ed. Ed and Doug are running just about the same time. So, what an impressive show by Aaron.
Yeah, it definitely is. And again, they are very spread out. There's first place right there going into the corner. There's second place just now getting into the corner. Third place just now getting into the corner. So they are really spread out right now. About the same distance here between your top five. There's just about the same distance between all of them, from first to second, second to third, third to fourth, all the way back.
Yep. And you watch the ticker here. He just keeps moving out on the field. He's putting an equal amount on Ed and Doug. So that tells me Doug and Ed are running good times, running the same good times, and Aaron is just that much faster.
Yeah, they are. Their best lap was a 26.490 to a 26.457 for Doug Pickering, Ed Sauls, and then Doug Pickering. Their last laps here, 28.015 for Ed Sauls in third, a 27.606 for Doug Pickering, and a 27.639 for Aaron Maspero. So Doug Pickering is actually not that far on lap times compared to Aaron Maspero right now.
Well, I think Ed must have had an issue that we didn't see. I mean, because he was running, same lap times as Ed. As Doug. Let's see what he runs this time. Yeah, he's back down to the 27.8, so he must have got loose or something. Had a little bit of a slow up there. But yeah, it does look like Aaron maybe slowing down just a little bit now, or Doug speeding up a little bit. Not sure which it is. Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, it very well could be a little bit of both. As we're just going to keep an eye on these again. We are over halfway right now. It's kind of a Sunday cruise out here for these drivers, as everyone is just in cruise mode, a little bit spread out, just trying to not spin them out. Again, 55 laps. You said fuel window was what, about 75 or so?
About 75, yeah. They're running 100% fuel today.
So with 56 on the stint. And actually, I correct myself. I forgot we reset the overlays. So that is not correct. You were probably right about 30. I just realized we've completed 55 laps. So that is not accurate since the last stop. So I do apologize for that. So you'd be probably right about 30 laps. So with the cautions, this could come very close to them not having to pit again.
Ooh, gonna be close, but yeah, I mean, already watching Ed Sauls push quite a bit. I'm looking at Doug. He's starting to push quite a bit. It doesn't matter if they're going to run out of gas. If they get a chance to get some tires, they're going to get some tires.
Yeah, I definitely think these guys are going to go in and get some tires if they can. That's going to be the question here with everyone spread out like they are. Will we have a caution come out? I can almost assure you right now, for anybody that's not Aaron Maspero, which is the rest of the field, they maybe want to see a caution to get fresh tires and also to bunch back up in this field. Quite frankly, depending on how Aaron's car is handling, which it looks like it's handling very well, he might want to see one too, just for the sheer fact that he knows he can get that outside line and kind of pull away a little bit. He may want some fresh tires as well.
Yeah, he's still maintaining 27 6s, 27 7s. We're on lap 42 of this pit run, by the way. So, still got 30 or so to go. Guaranteeing you, inside those trucks, please, they're telling themselves, somebody please spin out so I can get some fresh tires.
Yeah, and looking here, Rachel Hunt is coming down pit road. I'm not sure if this is a scheduled stop or not, so we'll see how long she's going to be on pit road here. She is getting right side tires, and we'll see there the truck comes down and left side tires are going up. So this may be just a normal pit stop. It is 14.7 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I'm showing too.
We'll see as she comes back out onto the track. There is no blue cone here they have to worry about. She is going to come right back onto the track as now it looks like Doug Pickering is going to be behind her. So she is 2 laps down after that. But everyone else is going to have to pit too.
Well, and if she can do it in the first 5 laps, she should be able to get one of those laps back. She should be able to pass Aaron with no problem, being that she's got those 4 freshies under her.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And actually, she does get by him. So I know she's just got to get by Aaron Maspero. She'll get one of those laps back. If she can get the lucky dog if we see a caution. That's going to be a big if we see one. We look so far as that is not accurate. We have not had 0 cautions. We have had 2. But those 2 cautions came out very, very early. And it might have been 3. But regardless, they came out very early in this race. And since then, it has been caution-free.
Yeah, as I said, that's very unusual what happened at the beginning of this race. As you saw Doug Pickering and Brian Jones get in each other off lap 1, and the second caution brought out by Aaron, our leader, getting on the gas maybe a little too early and losing the back end. That just doesn't happen. So they're settled in now as Rachel's trying to make a run at Aaron, get one of those laps back. If I'm not mistaken, I think Rachel did this same thing, the short pit, to get her win, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that is correct. I believe that is how she got it. And we'll see if it works out for her again. She's only in, sixth place, 2 laps down. So if they will have to pit, and they probably will, once they pit, she'll get those laps back, and she'll be out there. And by the time they do that, there won't be many laps to go. There are currently, we'll pull that up here for our cautions. Again, there have been cautions. That's not accurate. 35 laps to go. They've been out there for roughly 40 laps or so. So it's going to be very close. We may see somebody try to risk it and stay out. But it's going to be very close. And there goes Rachel Hunt, going to go to the inside, and she is going to get one of her laps back the hard way.
Yes, she did. Well, that's what 4 freshies will do for you. Now, these other guys are looking at this, saying, "Wow, he picked up all this speed and time." I am kind of surprised somebody like Doug or Ed Sauls hasn't done the same thing. Because the longer these guys, if you get your fresh tires now, the longer those guys stay out, you're going to do nothing but pick up time on them.
Yeah, you're definitely going to pick up time. And then, by short opinion, like we just said, once you come in, these guys that come in at the last minute, they're even on those old tires at that point, you're really not going to have the time to get back up there, as we are now 3 laps away from 70. So we're going to be at 30 to go here in 3 laps. So, again, the time is winding down. If you want to come in, I think they need to do it here in the next probably 5 laps, if not already. But I do expect to see at least 1 or 2 people probably come in pit road within the next 5 laps.
Well, if I'm Ed Sauls, Scott Page in particular, I'm already on pit road.
And there goes Ed Sauls.
Yeah, I'm 12 seconds behind. I'm not gaining anything on the leaders. I got to try something different. So good on Ed. I'm sure Scott will be following him in here pretty soon.
Yeah, I would imagine he would, and we'll see who else is going to come down other than Ed Sauls. So far, nobody. I want to go up, where was that battle we saw? Wasn't much of a battle for position anyway, but there was some really good battling going on. It was, I believe, Jason Deere, Randy Post, and might even have been, not sure who that was up there, but there was a really good battle going on, even though it wasn't for position. But back to Ed Sauls. He is coming out of pit road. He went down 1 lap. So we'll see him and Rachel Hunt both 1 lap down. So they definitely want this thing to stay green at this point.
And I see why Doug Pickering probably isn't going to pit. He's picking up quite a bit of time. I want to say almost a second and a half now over the last 10-15 laps. He's picked up on Aaron. So he's down within 2.5 seconds and closing that margin every lap. Kind of see why he in his mind he thinks he can catch him. Well, he's raced with Aaron more than me. It just seems like when you get close to Aaron in this situation, Aaron seems to find another gear to hit and pull away from you again.
Yeah, he's always one of those that has something in the reserve tanks here to keep going. As just when you think you caught him, you might well think again, because it ain't going to happen. He's got something for you. As we'll see, that gap is not big. And note here, while we were watching them, Scott Page did come down pit road. He is now 2 laps down, but he's about to get one of those back here as he is running down Aaron Maspero very quickly.
Yeah, and give it enough time. We talked about Brian Jones not fixing that damage. He's 26 seconds behind. What, about 2 seconds from being lapped? Again? Lapped. So, I don't know. Yeah, you got Aaron pulling up behind him.
Yeah, Aaron's going to be coming. So is Scott Page. Obviously, Scott Page is 1 lap down right now. But you only have 3 cars on the lead lap. Now, right now, Brian Jones is sitting in the spot with 25 to go. He wants to see a caution. If a caution came out right now, this would be perfect scenario for him. He could go in with these leaders here, only 3 cars, guaranteed to come out in at least 3rd, get his fast repair done, and he would be sitting in a very, very good spot. However, I'm not thinking we're going to see one. I think this thing's going to stay green the rest of the way. At least that's what the facts are telling us right now.
There you go. Tempting fate again.
Well, we're good at tempting fate, so we'll see if it comes back to bite us or not. But right now, he is doing a good job in 3rd, and we'll see. Again, it's going to be close, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sold that these front 3 are going to have to come down and pit, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have to.
Well, bad news for Brian. Great news for Brian if this works out, and there is a caution. Bad news for Brian is if that caution doesn't happen in, say, the next 4 to 5 laps, it doesn't matter. Aaron is coming on and getting ready to pass him.
Yeah, he is, and he is right there. You can actually see both of them on your screen there for a split second as he is reeling him in. Again, the gap right now, as we're looking, just going to update here, 25.099, and it's updating constantly because it keeps changing. Now it's 25.016. And now it's 25.265. So that gap is getting bigger and bigger. And like you said, that means Aaron is coming very quickly. And he is going to be right there ready to put him a lap down.
Yeah, one little mistake, one little push off of turn 4, and Aaron's on top of him. Again, not criticizing what Brian did. I think it was a great call. Just the caution didn't happen, like it has in the past. I think last race we went at this track, we went 70-something laps green. So after the way this race started, though, I could see where Brian was thinking we got to have another caution here pretty soon.
Yeah, I think that was probably what he was thinking. Was we had a caution on lap 1 and lap 7, I believe. Thinking that as he does go a lap down, you're thinking, we're probably going to see some cautions here, especially with the fact that nobody was running the times that they ran in practice. Everyone was trying to get everything they could. They may have been a little frustrated that they weren't getting those faster times, and he probably thought, okay, this is going to be, 2, 3, 4 cautions, and that didn't happen. Thus far, anyway. We'll see how it all plays out, as Aaron Maspero again did put him a lap down. Aaron Maspero and his teammate Doug Pickering are the only two on the lead lap right now.
And they're 2 out of 3 that hasn't pitted yet. So let's keep that in mind. I almost think they're going to make it on fuel, based on. Let's see. They've got. It's going to be close. It is going to be really close.
Yeah, it indeed is going to be very close here to the end.
I show this run for them is 66 laps, 75 to 80 on fuel, and they've got enough room where they can start backing up these corners quite a bit and save a little bit of gas too.
Yeah, they definitely have the lead. Aaron Maspero has a huge lead, of course. 1 point, so I say that, only 1.1 seconds over Doug Pickering. So Doug Pickering has closed that gap a little bit. I think Aaron Maspero, with 17 to go, I think he's saving quite a bit right now over Doug Pickering, because Doug has closed that gap now to .999.
Yeah, bad news for the field. These guys might just be able to make it.
Yeah, definitely. I think if anybody's going to make it, it's going to be the 41 of Aaron Maspero, because he is definitely conserving. He's conserving enough that Doug Pickering is catching him. So the question is Doug in the 17? Is Doug Pickering saving enough as well? You say he's catching him, so he's obviously going faster and pushing harder to catch him, but not necessarily. He may be going the same speed he was, conserving just a little bit, but if Aaron's conserving more, he will catch him. So we'll see. We may have a nice little battle here for the lead, and it'd be very interesting to see if they both possibly ran out of fuel right there at the end. But I do think with you, I think they've conserved enough that they're going to try to push it.
Well, I'm watching Ed Sauls, because Ed Sauls is the next threat to Doug. Ed is closing the gap, which again tells me that they're probably saving a little fuel up front. I don't know in 14 laps that Ed can get up there and make them get on the gas. That's what's got to happen. There's somebody up there forcing the issue and making them drive a little harder.
Yeah, it definitely is. And also to note here, we are not out of the woods yet. If a caution was to come out, we would go back racing. And if that was the case, you have Brian Jones third, Ed Sauls fourth, Scott Page fifth, and Rachel Hunt in sixth. They are all 1 lap down. They would get the wave around, Lucky Dog and wave around, and that could really change things up for these guys. So you know, a lot of scenarios could play out. One scenario that's playing out right now is Doug Pickering being 0.3 seconds off of the lead, where he was almost 4 seconds earlier.
Yep, we got a race going on there, and it looks like we got a race developing for third and fourth, which seems to happen every week between Ed Sauls and Brian Jones. Brian, we know, has got, as we talked about many times, a lot of damage. But on the other hand, you've got Ed, who has been racing really, really hard, running really, really hard to get up there to catch him. So we're going to have to see what happens here in 10 laps.
Yeah, and no surprise, Jason Deere slides it up and lets Ed Sauls by. He knew those two were going to be battling for position. He is currently 4 laps down, so he wasn't in that battle group. So no reason to hold Ed up. He let him by, and you know, it's not a rule. There is no rule in it here that you have to. Look like Brian Jones is going to let Ed Sauls by too.
I don't know if he let him or if that was self-defense. Holy crap, I got to get out of the way. I'm not sure which that was. Looked like Ed was pushing up a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely pushed up a little bit. Brian Jones had to get out of the gas, and he blew by him very quickly there. As we're going to go back up to the lead here with 10 to go. We'll probably be here for the remainder of the race. We'll go back and forth a little bit, but 0.2 separating these front two right now.
I just heard over the race channel that confirmed what we've been talking about. Doug just mentioned there, and thanks for the draft, indicating that he's trying to save fuel by drafting behind him. That's why you just saw Aaron dip down low going through the front stretch, trying to make that draft. So, they're having fun with it.
They are indeed having fun, and keep in mind again, for anyone that doesn't know, these two are teammates. They want each other to finish 1-2. That's how they want it to go. But at the same time, Aaron Maspero doesn't want his teammate to beat him. He doesn't want to lose. So he's gonna have fun with his teammate and have a good race. But at the end of the day, it's all about the win. You want that win, and he's going to have to do what he has to do to try to cut that draft off. Obviously, he doesn't want his teammate to run out of fuel either, so he may let him have a little bit of draft, but he is going to do what he has to do to get this win.
It's not over yet. And like you said, they're teammates, but they're competitive. We've seen them getting some dust-ups and some closing laps. Little pushing each other out of the way kinds of things. It's all about the win, and Doug is right on his bumper.
He is 0.133 seconds behind, now 0.1 second behind. This could get interesting.
Yeah, I thought he was giving him a little chrome horn there, but
he's going to take it to the inside. That hasn't been proven to be a very good line on the inside right now, but again, with these two drivers, I have a feeling they could just about make anywhere work for them.
I hate to say it, but if Ed Sauls had maybe 10, 15 more laps, he'd be right up there with him. He is still closing the gap.
He is indeed closing it. Doug Pickering to the inside once again. It is now 5 laps to go, and that is notable because that is the danger zone. If a caution was to come out now, this race would be over. I really hope it doesn't now. Unfortunately for Ed Sauls, Scott Page, and everyone else behind them, their fate is sealed. They're going to finish a lap down. So we don't want to see a caution. We want to see these two battle it out.
Well, if they run out of fuel, though, them being Doug and Aaron, this race isn't over.
That is true.
And by my calculations, it's going to be tight. I'm not sure that if either one of them or whoever wins is going to have enough fuel to do a donut afterwards or burnout afterwards.
Yeah, they may not have enough horsepower or fuel left in that car. We'll see. Right now, it is going to be 3 to go at the line. Doug Pickering still trying to run down Aaron Maspero. And you notice all of a sudden Aaron Maspero hit that reserve tank and just took off. I think Aaron's saved enough. He's good on fuel to at least make it to the line. I don't know how much further after, but I think he may have saved enough. He's good to go. And he has taken back off. Now that gap is 0.499 again.
Well, 81 was the best I would see in fuel mileage. We're now at 82. without saving fuel, it was 80 or 81. We know they've been saving a little bit as they're pulling away from Ed now. These are great drivers, like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Things happen in seconds. Drivers don't have time to think. What sets what sets Aaron and Doug apart, and as well as Ed, a couple of the top drivers, is how quick they are on their feet as far as thinking a race out goes. They planned this. They knew exactly how much fuel to save, and we'll see. Well, this is it. It's white flag, so we'll see.
That is the white flag. One to go, presented by Northwest Racing Series, and I think he's gonna make it here. Yeah, he definitely.
Doug out. I think Doug's out.
Doug out of fuel. Your race winner is going to be Aaron Maspero, and Doug is out of fuel at the line. He still finishes second, but if that would have happened on the last lap before that, I have a feeling Ed would have finished second. He may have got a lap back. It'd have been close.
If it had happened 50 yards sooner, Ed would have got second.
Well, Ed's a lap down, so he'd have had to pass him twice.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So it would have been close, but he had got there. Aaron Maspero, we're going to watch him for a minute before we go through your race results here to see how much fuel he has, if any, for any sort of celebrating here. And he is going to stop it, and looks like he's conserved enough. He's going to do at least one donut, and he's going to get two out of it. So.
And you got Brian Jones pushing Doug Pickering into the pits. He's out of gas.
Oh, that is going to do it. He's going to leave it there sitting at the start-finish line. So we'll go ahead and go through your unofficial race results. Coming away with the win is going to be the 41 of Aaron Maspero. In second place will be the 17 of Doug Pickering. Third place will be the 81 of Ed Sauls. Fourth place will be the 00 of Scott Page. Fifth place will be the 16 of Rachel Hunt. Sixth place, will be the 21 of Brian Jones. Seventh place, the 45 of Jason Deere. Eighth place, the 54 of Randy Post. Ninth place will be the 48 of Jack Fellers, and I'm not sure it's showing you here in 10th. I was pretty sure Philip Daniels technically should be scored with 10th place, as he actually is. You're being scored as 11th. I'm not sure why it wants to put you in front of him here, but regardless, that will do it for your unofficial race results. We will be right back here in just a few moments with your post-race show, so don't go anywhere. All right, we are back here with your post-race show presented by Randy's Wraps. Coming in third here. Unfortunately, a lap down, but hey, a third place is a third place. That is the 81 of Ed Saul. So first off, Ed, welcome to the booth once again. You're sitting in third place. It should be a good points night for you. Give us a rundown of what this race was like for you out there tonight.
Oh, at first there, it was right breakfast there. So I'm glad that got all straightened out. And nice long green flag there.
Definitely had a few cautions there at the start. Then we went green the rest of the way. The longer we went there, we noticed he obviously was going green. Would you have liked to see maybe one more yellow to regroup everyone and get you back on the lead lap? There, probably figuring you might, but give us on that. After you got that lap down, did you want maybe a caution to come out?
Well, at first I was hoping there was a caution going to come out around lap, well, with only like 35 to go or something, where I pitted there. Yeah, after I pitted, I was hoping it was going to stay green because I was hoping Aaron and Doug was going to have to pit. So, hey, they had enough fuel to get by, so that's good fuel mileage for them.
Well, definitely some good strategy for them. That being said, we don't want to keep you here too long. We know you got some sponsors and shout-outs, so who would those be here for that third-place finish?
Yeah, definitely TJ Woodworking. They do an awesome job. T&D Rustic Decor, VRN. I got to thank you. Randy Raps. And definitely Chuck Kemper that helps me out with these setups. He does a great job setups for me and speaking on them.
All right, well, again, congrats on a third place. And before we get to second place, just a quick note, Aaron Maspero was your winner. Doesn't have his mic fixed yet. That is unfortunate. We like talking to him. But he wanted us to thank Hazy Signs and Designs and Doug, who that is who we're going to talk to next. In second place, the 17 of Doug Pickering coming in second place, running out of fuel at the line. Actually, a little bit before the line, I do believe. So what was it like there trying to conserve for fuel? As we did hear from Aaron, he had 0.3 as he crossed the line.
I was trying to conserve soon as that's why I let Aaron go. As soon as I knew we had a gap on Ed, I was saving, and I was hoping Aaron hadn't figured it out, but that's a long shot. So I would, before anything else, I'd like to say sorry to Brian because we had contact in turn one, and I was quite happy to slot in behind him, and he just slowed up a little bit more than I was expecting. So looking back at the replays, that was all on me.
Yeah, definitely. We watched. There was very little contact there. A good job for him to save it as good as he did. Still got it around, but that was just very little contact at all. So definitely a good job for you and him to make as little as you did. Just the racing deal, it happens. But overall here, this is our second time to this track. Comparing it to the first time you came here, I can't remember exactly where you paced, but did you do better or worse, or how was this track a second time around?
I think I had a good result here the first time round, but I can't remember what it was. It wasn't first, so it might have been second or third or fourth even. We had a late caution with a restart, and I think me and Brian had a really good battle going around for a couple of laps. So that's what I remember it last week. But yeah, this week, really, really happy with it going green. We tend to build stuff that's maybe not quite so quick on the first 2 or 3 laps, so getting swamped can be an issue sometimes, but when you get the green runs, and it just pays off, and it just lasts and lasts and lasts. And then especially with having to save fuel, it saves the tires even more.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about it in the booth between you and Aaron. Y'all guys know how to save tires and fuel, so definitely a really good job on that side of things. That being said, again, we know you may have your other race to get to, so we don't want to keep you too long. Any sponsors? We know you got some sponsors and shout-outs, so who would those be?
Yeah, just Hazy Signs and Designs at the moment. We're pretty low-key, me and Aaron racing at the moment, so yeah, just Hazy Signs and Designs for the good work he does on our trucks, on the skins. So, and your good selves. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, that just about wraps it up here for tonight's, or this afternoon's broadcast. Tonight for some of us, but this afternoon here for us. We want to thank all of the sponsors as well. Starting on the racing side of things, a big shout out to the championship sponsor, that is TJ Woodworking, for all your woodworking needs. Get a hold of Tony Jones at 515-979-0415. And of course, T&D Rustic Decor, the presenting sponsor here for this afternoon's race and this series. Make sure you head on to Facebook and check them out for all your rustic decor needs. On the broadcast side of things, we want to give a big shout out, of course, to Wool's at Beard Co. Beard Balm, Sim Speed Shop, Northwest Racing Series, Ohio IndyCar League, iBog, and of course, Randy's Wraps here for the post-race show. That being said, we're going to wrap it up here for tonight, or again this afternoon, tonight, depending on who you ask. We'll see you later on tonight as we do another race here for the Race Core Xfinity Series. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you there.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be used in any form without the authorized written consent of Virtual Racing Network. VRN would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.